Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel covering everything Astra Militarum, and today's video covering some new rules just announced on the Warhammer community website. So the article talks about the complexities of the 40k game and explains that every quarter or every 3 months they'll release what will be called a balanced data slate. These will be done in an attempt to try to course correct any obvious imbalances across the meta. I welcome the idea of these having a fixed timeline, as it means 40k players can know when to expect changes, and it also allows the GW rules team to work towards a deadline and prioritise their workload. However, how these will interact with any FAQs is obviously yet to be seen. So the document starts by adding restrictions on the number of aircraft you can bring to 1 for combat or incursion, 2 for strike force, or 3 for onslaught size games. From what I understand, this is aimed squarely at Orks, with some recent competitive lists fielding boatloads of aircraft and being very unfun to play against. From an Astra Militarum point of view, it obviously does restrict how many Valkyries we can field, and also our Forge World options, although besides the cool factor, none of these really see any play anymore. The article also talks about new points for the top tier Adeptus Mechanicus and Drukhari. I obviously don't play in either, but quickly scanning through, some of the units have gone up in points and some have actually gone down. Some Mechanicus examples include Scutari Rangers and Vanguard, both now costing 9 points each, previously 8. A Scutari Marshal, now costing 55 points, previously 45 points. And forgive the butchering of this name, but the Archcopter Fusilier, now costing 150 points, previously 130. Drukhari examples include the character Archon, now costing 70 points, previously 65. Witches costing 12, they were previously 10. And the Incubi costing 18 points, previously 16. As said before, some Drukhari models have gone down, but let's move on. Other noteworthy changes are the Chaos Space Marine rule Death to the False Emperor, now applying to all armies, not just Imperium. And all knights now have objectives secured, with 1 counting as 5 models, or 10 for the Titanic models, which definitely makes sense, given you could have 2 lonely guardsmen holding an objective over a single knight. Also get a bit of a rough change, now being able to only bring 1 of each of 5 units they list out, which is great for everyone else, but pretty rough for a new Orc player who may have just bought and built a list with say 5 custom booster blasters, now to having 4 models they simply can't use. Go Games Workshop. Now on to the Astra Militarum changes. Firstly, I wholeheartedly welcome these. For us to get a decent mention here is fantastic, and means DW does recognise how tough it currently is in the trenches of playing Astra Militarum. A negative way to view this, however, is that it definitely means our new codex is a long way away. Given neither Tau nor Tyranids are mentioned, probably means their new codexes are due very soon. So on to the first one, simply being Astra Militarum Leman Russ tanks. Now I've got a save of 2+. This improved save is clearly fantastic, improving our saving throw by 17%. What it also means is that against the vast majority of weapons, you always have a saving throw. So even against a melter gun, Tau rail rifle, or a Drukhari dark lance, you'll still have a 6+ save. Clearly a 6+ save is only a 1 in 6 chance, but it definitely beats a 0 in 6 chance. I think this is honestly great, as it always puzzled me as to why Space Marine has the same saving throw as a Leman Russ battle tank. As to how much this will affect Leman Russ survivability on the tabletop, time will obviously tell, but often these small changes can definitely ladder up. Right, the next alludes to Leman Russ tank commanders now being able to issue orders to any Astra Militarum vehicles instead of a Leman Russ. It does distinctly exclude a Bandblade, which is a bit of a bummer, but it wouldn't feel right for Leman Russ to be giving a mighty Bandblade an order. The possibilities here are clearly endless, and it also means all the Forge World options can now be buffed, which is clearly fantastic. However, the key limitation will simply be the fact that a tank commander can only give 1 order per turn. You may, for example, have to decide whether to give a tank commander Gunner's Kill on sight, or give a Chimera full of infantry the order Full Throttle to hurt up the tabletop. Also, the 6-inch order range has always and will limit this. I've always been puzzled why a tank commander can only give orders the same distance as an infantry officer. Don't tanks always have a radio? So from an army list building point of view, does this mean you're going to take 3 tank commanders in your battalion, with all having an improved save of 16%, and able to tell a Manticore or Basilisk to reroll hit rolls of 1? How about a company commander to issue orders? Well, the final point changes how infantry orders are given, with orders now effectively being able to be passed on. It states that one or more infantry unit within 6 inches of the originally receiving unit can receive the same order. A key point here is the wording originally issued to, so not within 6 inches of the officer, but 6 inches of the first receiving unit. It also stipulates that only 5 of the usual 6 orders can be ordered, with move, move, move being excluded. This for me is actually a massive downer, given move, move, move is a real reason I actually play infantry squads, except of course when they're camping on an objective or performing actions. A huge bummer. As to how this interacts with existing orders format, I see it as a company commander can still issue 2 orders per turn, but both of these can be passed on to other infantry units within 6 inches of the original receiving units. And how I see this interacting with Voxcasters would be that a Voxcaster could boost the order to 18 inches, and the receiving unit can then pass on that order to other infantry units within 6 inches. So how this could affect your list building is that you could take a single company commander, a command squad with Voxcaster, 1 infantry squad of Voxcaster, and another say 4 infantry squads without Voxcasters. The company commander could give an order to an infantry squad that is nearby, which then passes on the order. He then gives his second order to the command squad with a Voxcaster, which boosts the order to an infantry squad 18 inches away. It then passes on the order to 2 or 3 other squads, both within 6 inches. Now this is my interpretation and I'm open to hear your thoughts. Sometimes GW rules are written like legal documents, so very confusing and difficult to interpret. So yep, great to see some new rules for Astra Militarum. Given the Cadians have also got new rules, things are definitely looking up. However, I honestly don't think anything that's come out is suddenly going to propel Guard to the top of the meta. What we simply need is a new codex, but again, any new rules is definitely helpful. Clearly a 2+ save on Leman Russ is very welcomed, and the tank order flexibility opens up a wide array of vehicle buffs. However, I think the deliberate exclusion of move, move, move from the infantry orders may limit the infantry order potential. Anyways, what do you think of the changes and what scenarios do you think the new orders could work in? Let me know in the comments. A quick note in the comments is that I honestly read all of them and love hearing from you. I've actually learned a lot from some of you and I definitely see this as a two-way transaction. So if you like this video and want to show me some love, you can subscribe, leave a comment or a like, or a YouTube super thanks, which is essentially a cash tip, or joining my Patreon platoon. Patreon platoon, sound off. Lieutenant Mitchell, Colour Sergeant DuPont, Sergeants Brady, Berdal, Gilliam, Merrill, Veteran Gibson, Hall, Lundeen, Witten, Guardsman Combs, Heels, Nitton, Nguyen, Tom, Tonkin.